The world's largest experiment. What they didn't tell you about COVID vaccines. Plus, Mark Carney's back from jet setting on Canadians' dime with zero results. Welcome to Wake Up Canada News. I'm Brad Wilder. This next article was researched by one of our Wake Up Canada News contributing reporters. The COVID vaccines were sold as salvation, a miracle that would stop the pandemic and get life back to normal. 6 billion people got injected. 14 billion doses went into arms worldwide. Experimental, rushed, marketed as perfectly safe. And yet, right from the start, warning signs were there, buried in adverse event reports, whispered by doctors, silenced or ignored. Official reporting systems capture only a fraction of the truth. Maybe 1% of real adverse events get logged. Verified serious cases number 1 to 2 million. Multiply that by 100 for underreporting, and suddenly we're talking about 100 to 200 million people seriously harmed, hospitalized, or even permanently affected. Then add in the billions with fevers, fatigue, temporary menstrual changes, swelling, mild reactions that disrupted daily life. A third of 6 billion is roughly 1.8 billion. Feeling something, anything, after the shot? Young men develop myocarditis and pericarditis, teenagers and young adults, well, they've got healthy hearts that have become inflamed, struggling to recover. And a handful of children and babies died, pregnancies ended in stillbirths. Every life matters, every injury matters, but official narratives sweep these aside, citing millions of lives saved. Meanwhile, autoimmune flares spike, menstrual cycles go haywire, fertility fears persist, and whispers of long-term cancers linger. Science hasn't confirmed them yet, but when you inject billions with something entirely experimental and new, the unknowns don't vanish just because authorities say it's safe. Add it all together, mild reactions, serious hospitalizations, rare deaths, heart inflammation in the young, reproductive issues, autoimmune flares. Hundreds of millions, if not billions, of people on this planet affected by the largest, fastest medical experiment in history. And while the public, well, told it's fine. Told the benefits outweigh the risks. Told that asking questions makes you a conspiracy theorist. The truth is, the human cost is enormous, undercounted, and still unfolding. And no one is talking about it. Why is no one being held to account? In other news, well, look who's back from his big pivot to the Indo-Pacific adventure. Mark Carney, the self-proclaimed economic savior of Canada, returning home with, yeah, you guessed it, absolutely nothing. I hate to say I told you so, but hey, actually, no, I love to say it. We called it before Carney even boarded the plane. I said he'd burn through the money, shake some hands, smile for the cameras, and come home empty-handed. And wouldn't you know it, he did exactly that. Bravo, Mark. A masterclass in wasting another $50 million of taxpayer dollars while accomplishing precisely zero. Squat. Nil. Nada. First stop, Malaysia, the biggest seen summit. Carney strutted in talking about accelerating trade and deepening partnerships. Sounds fancy, right? Here's what really happened. He wrote a $25 million check with your money to help them prepare for negotiations with us. That's right. We're now paying other countries to think about maybe someday possibly considering a trade deal. What a triumph, Mark. Then came Singapore, where real deals supposedly get made. Did we sign any? No, of course not. But we did get lots of great photo ops, some inspirational chit-chat about clean tech and critical minerals, and a few polite golf clap promises of future cooperation. That's diplomatic code for don't call us, we'll call you. And again, millions spent with zero results. And finally, the grand finale, South Korea and the APEC summit. Carney stood up in front of the world and delivered a real confidence booster. He declared that the era of free trade is over. Perfect. Nothing inspires investor confidence quite like your own prime minister announcing that trade is dead. Then he set a goal to double non-U.S. exports in 10 years. 10 years. He'll be long gone before anyone notices nothing changed. It's the political equivalent of promising to lose weight next decade. So let's review the highlights of this taxpayer-funded world tour. Malaysia got our money, Singapore got our smiles, and Korea got our speeches. And Canada? Yeah, you guessed it, we got the bill again. Everywhere he went, the story was the same. Big talk, no results. Advancing discussions, building relationships, laying the groundwork. These are all just creative ways of saying, we didn't actually achieve anything, but please clap anyway. And the cherry on top? Well, now he's back at home trying to spin it as a huge success. Productive meetings, positive momentum, strategic engagement. Translation, he wasted your money and came back with a folder full of press releases and empty promises. I said before he left that this trip would be a taxpayer-funded sightseeing tour. Seems I was right. Mark Carney went to Asia not to diversify trade, but to enrich himself and Brookfield at Canadians' expense. Are you seeing through the Carnage Carney lies yet? It's time everyone takes note of what Mark Carnage Carney is doing. Wake up, Canada, before it's too late. Thanks for watching Wake Up Canada News. Please like, share, and follow us on any of your favorite socials, including Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, X, BitChute, and our website at wakeupcanadanews.com. Till next time, remember you're the voice, and it's time to make it count. I'm Brad Wilder. I'll see you again soon.